Well, after a dry spell of public appearances here in Albany, Governor Andrew Cuomo will start a bus tour in town tomorrow. He'll start in Albany, then head to Syracuse and Rochester on the Women's Equality Express. It's a tour to highlight the Cuomo-Hochul women's rights agenda ahead of the election. But you know, he won't be alone. Challenger Rob Astorino will be right behind him in a bus of his own. Here with more on that, our political analyst, New York Post State political columnist Fred Dicker. Fred, this sounds like Cuomo will be on, what's it called, the Shelley Silver Express? Explain that.
Well, I don't think the governor's going to be on it, but he's going to be nervous about it, I think. The Astorino campaign, you're right, is going to have a van. They're calling it the Shelley Silver Express, and they're going to dog the governor's bus on his women's equality tour, making a point that the governor did nothing about the allegations about Shelley Silver, who for years was accused of being concerned about anything but women's rights. Shelley Silver's chief counsel, Michael Boxley, notoriously about 10 years ago was involved in not one but two very high-profile incidents involving allegations of rape. In the second one, he eventually pled guilty to a reduced charge involving sexual abuse. And of course, just a few years ago, there was the Vito Lopez scandal where it was revealed that Speaker Silver had kept secret cash payments that were made to a prominent member of the Assembly in the face of allegations of sexual harassment by staffers. This was kept secret. The governor, neither the governor really nor any other leading Democrat said anything about those things. They won't criticize Democrats involved in this kind of conduct or alleged to be involved in it. So the Shelley Silver Express is meant to make the charge of hypocrisy against the governor and his female running mate, Kathy Hochul.
I misspoke when I said Cuomo was going to be on there, but if he gets on that bus, that'll be your news story. What does this do, you think, to the governor's perception as a supporter of women's rights?
Well, I don't think it's going to do all that much, but I think in terms of tomorrow night's coverage of the governor's bus trip, you're also going to see coverage of the kind of response from the Rob Astorino campaign, and it will blunt some of what the governor's up to. I mean, what the governor's doing, Cody, is clearly political. This so-called Women's Equality Act that he's promoting, he didn't discover until 2013. If it was so important, why wasn't he talking about it in 2012 and in 2011, his first 2 years as governor? I think the answer is that it's largely political, and many would argue that it's not even needed. We have so many laws on the books now to assure the equality of everyone that I think it's fair to say that people on the inside think this is mainly a ginned-up issue.
And look at the calendar. I mean, we're only a month away from the election. So,
of course, everything now is political. There's no question about it.
Right. What does this mean for Astorino? This is a pretty big stunt to follow the governor around the state.
Well, we've seen this before, and the governor's people have been following Astorino around and harassing him. I think it shows that he's in the fight. I mean, even though he's being overwhelmed because of the governor's money and TV ads, it shows he's a fighter and making a point here that a lot of people have made for a number of years about Speaker Silver. So I think it shows that he hasn't given up, that he will get his share of press out of this one, but it's not going to make a difference in the campaign one way or another. All
right, Fred, we'll leave it at that. Have a great weekend. Reminder, you can catch Fred on the radio. His program live from the state capitol airs every weekday morning from 10 to 11 on Talk 1300 AM.